The kingfisher is a bird that seems to have come straight out of a fairy tale, with vibrant colors and a fascinating behavior that captivates observers around the world. If you think you know everything about birds, get ready, because this small marvel of nature has much more to reveal than just its stunning appearance. Let's dive, quite literally, into the world of the kingfisher, exploring curiosities, habits, and even a few surprises you may have never imagined. Did you know there are over 90 species of kingfishers scattered across the globe? Yes, these birds are found on every continent except Antarctica. Each species has its own particularities, but they all share an impressive talent for fishing. And, as the name suggests, they are masters of this art. But fishing isn't just a matter of survival, it's a spectacle in itself. Imagine the scene: the kingfisher, with its gleaming feathers, hovers in the air, focused on its target. Then, in a swift and precise movement, it dives into the water and reappears with a fish caught in its beak. It's as if the bird were an Olympic athlete of the waters. What makes this even more incredible is the precision. Studies show that the kingfisher has highly developed vision, capable of calculating the refraction of light in the water. This means that, even with the apparent distortion of the fish's position due to the water, it rarely misses its mark. This skill is the result of thousands of years of evolution, perfectly adapting to the aquatic environment. But the kingfisher doesn't live only on fish. Depending on the species and habitat, it may include small crustaceans, insects, and even amphibians in its diet. This dietary diversity ensures its survival in different environments, whether they are calm rivers, mangroves, or even dense tropical forests. Speaking of habitat, did you know that some kingfishers prefer arid regions? That's right, they are not restricted to bodies of water. Another fascinating aspect is the kingfisher's nest. Unlike many birds that build nests in trees, the kingfisher digs tunnels along riverbanks or lakeshores. These tunnels can be up to an impressive 2 meters long. At the end of the tunnel, the female lays her eggs, protecting them from predators and the elements. This strategy, though effective, requires a lot of effort and time, making the breeding period a challenging phase for the bird. And what about the kingfisher's call? It may not be as melodious as that of other birds, but it serves important purposes, such as marking territory and attracting mates. Each species has a unique call, which can range from a short trill to a more complex sequence of sounds. These vocalizations are yet another example of how nature equips each creature with specific tools for its survival. Now, let's talk about colors. Anyone who has seen a kingfisher up close knows that it looks like a living jewel. Metallic shades of blue, green, and orange adorn its feathers, creating a hypnotizing contrast. But did you know that these colors aren't exactly pigments? That's right, the colors of the kingfisher are the result of a phenomenon called iridescence. The microscopic structure of its feathers reflects light in a specific way, creating this explosion of colors. It's science working in harmony with the art of nature. But not everything is rosy in the life of the kingfisher. Like many species, it faces threats due to human activity. Habitat destruction, river pollution, and even overfishing directly impact the survival of these birds. That's why conservation initiatives are vital to ensure future generations can admire these incredible birds. In some places, such as nature reserves, efforts are being made to protect the kingfishers and the ecosystems they inhabit. Here's an interesting fact you might not know. Some cultures consider the kingfisher a symbol of good luck and prosperity. In Greek mythology, for instance, there is a legend about Alcyone, a woman transformed into a kingfisher by the gods. This legend gave rise to the expression halcyon days, which refers to a period of calm on the seas. It's amazing how this bird has managed to capture not only fish, but also the human imagination throughout the centuries. Finally, I want you to imagine for a moment being by the edge of a peaceful river. The sun is shining, and the sound of flowing water is interrupted by a flash of blue and orange. It's the kingfisher in action, reminding us how nature can be both delicate and powerful. These birds teach us about precision, resilience, and, above all, the beauty of life in all its forms. Have you ever stopped to think about how the kingfisher manages to be so efficient at fishing? Its skill isn't just instinctive, there's a lot of science behind every dive. This bird is equipped with unique adaptations that make it an expert at capturing aquatic prey. One of these adaptations is the shape of its beak. It's long, sharp, and incredibly aerodynamic, reducing the impact when it enters the water. It's as if the kingfisher has specially designed equipment from nature for its main activity. Another interesting point is its flight. The kingfisher is a master of stationary flight, something known as hovering. It uses its fast and powerful wings to stay in the air, allowing it to closely observe the water below before diving. This movement requires impeccable coordination between its vision and wing muscles. Few birds can accomplish this feat with such efficiency. In addition, the kingfisher has highly specialized eyes. These eyes are adapted to see both in bright light and underwater. Unlike humans, who need to manually adjust focus, the kingfisher does this instantly. It also has a nictitating membrane, a kind of natural diving goggles, that protects its eyes during the dive. With this combination of sharp vision and protection, it has virtually no rivals in what it does. The diversity of kingfisher species is also fascinating. While some live in lush tropical areas, others inhabit temperate climates, or even semi-arid regions. This wide geographic distribution shows just how adaptable this bird is. Each species has developed specific strategies to thrive in its environment. For example, some prefer slow-flowing rivers, while others do better on rocky coasts or in mangroves. And we cannot forget the ecological impact of these birds. The kingfisher plays an important role as an indicator of the health of aquatic ecosystems. Its presence indicates that the water is clean and that there's an abundance of prey available. When kingfishers begin to disappear from an area, it's a warning sign that something is wrong with the environment. This makes them true sentinels of nature. If you're wondering how to spot a kingfisher in the wild, here's a tip: choose a quiet spot near bodies of water. Be patient and stay alert for quick movements and flashes of bright colors. Often, they are easier to hear than to see, so pay attention to their distinctive sounds. With luck, you may witness the incredible spectacle of a kingfisher in action. It's an experience that will surely stay with you. Now that you know more about the kingfisher, I hope you've fallen as in love with this unique bird as I have. And remember, every time we care for nature, we are ensuring that scenes like these continue to be part of our world. If you've been lucky enough to see a kingfisher in action, share it in the comments. And of course, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you won't miss more fascinating stories from the animal kingdom.
Cats, the mysterious and enchanting companions of humanity, have a fascinating history and a remarkable presence in our lives. Despite their small size, these felines are giants in charisma and complexity. Did you know that domesticated cats have existed for thousands of years? They were revered in ancient Egypt as symbols of protection and fertility. But beyond this glorious past, there are many curiosities that make cats even more intriguing. First, let's talk about the unique behavior of cats. They have habits that may seem strange at first, but each one has an evolutionary reason. For example, the famous habit of rubbing against our legs is not just an affectionate gesture, but also a way of marking territory. By rubbing their face on you, the cat is spreading pheromones that say, "You are mine." Fascinating, right? Another curious aspect is purring. The soft, continuous sound that cats make is not just a sign of happiness. Studies show that cats also purr when they are anxious or even in pain. This is because purring has a calming effect, both for them and for those nearby. Incredibly, the frequency of purring can even help in the healing of bones and tissues. Imagine a healing power built into a simple feline. And what about cat eyes? They are true masterpieces of nature. Have you noticed how their pupils contract vertically? This doesn't happen by chance. This adaptation allows cats to quickly adjust their vision in different lighting conditions, making them exceptional hunters, both by day and by night. Additionally, Their ability to see in low-light environments is a skill inherited from their wild ancestors, who needed to hunt at dusk. Speaking of hunting, even domestic cats retain a strong predatory instinct. That's why they love playing with toys that mimic prey, like stuffed mice or feathers. In fact, every jump and strategic movement during these playtimes reflects hunting tactics. It's interesting to note that, even when well-fed, cats continue to hunt small insects or other animals. This happens because hunting is more about instinct and fun than hunger. Now, have you ever wondered why cats love boxes so much? This behavior is one of the most discussed among cat lovers. The explanation lies in the need for security. Boxes provide a closed space where they feel protected and can observe the environment without being noticed. This behavior dates back to times when they needed to hide from predators in the wild. Another curious detail is the cat's tongue. It is covered with hook-shaped papillae that help with grooming and feeding. These structures make the cat's tongue rough to the touch, almost like sandpaper. This is essential for their impeccable hygiene, as they spend about 30% of their waking time licking themselves. This habit is not just for staying clean, but also for regulating body temperature. Furthermore, cats have an extremely rich communication system. While meowing is the most well-known sound, it is almost exclusively used to communicate with humans. Among themselves, cats prefer to use body language, such as tail movements and facial expressions. Interesting, right? It's almost as if they have developed a special way of speaking to us over the centuries. And how about we talk about their paws? The cute pads on a cat's paws are not just adorable. They have important functions, such as absorbing impact when jumping and helping to identify textures. Additionally, the paws also have glands that release scents, allowing them to leave invisible marks as they walk. This is yet another example of how cats have a sophisticated system to interact with the world around them. Another interesting curiosity is the way cats have adapted to urban life. Even living in apartments or houses with no access to the outside, they manage to find creative ways to exercise and have fun. Toys, scratching posts, and even watching from the window are enough to stimulate the minds of these little explorers. Therefore, providing an enriching environment is essential for the well-being of a domestic cat. Now, let's explore a lesser-known characteristic: the incredible navigation ability of cats. Did you know that many cats can find their way back home, even from miles away? While the exact mechanism is not fully understood, it is believed that they use a combination of visual, olfactory, and even magnetic cues to navigate. This explains why stories of cats returning to their owners after years are so common. Cats also play an important role in our mental health. Studies show that petting a cat can reduce stress and anxiety levels. The simple act of watching a cat sleep or play is relaxing and brings a sense of comfort. No wonder so many people consider cats as family members. Finally, we can't overlook the unique personality of each cat. While some are more independent and reserved, others are extremely social and affectionate. This diversity in temperament makes each cat special in its own way. And that's what makes living with them so enriching. We never know what to expect, but we are always surprised by acts of affection or funny moments. Another fascinating point about cats is their ability to recognize voices and associate them with faces. Although they often seem uninterested, studies show that cats can distinguish their owners' voices from others. This ability strengthens the bond they develop with humans, even while maintaining their characteristic independence. Additionally, cats are energy-saving masters. They sleep around 12 to 16 hours a day, a habit that dates back to when they needed to conserve energy for hunting. However, even when resting, cats are always alert to their environment. A small sound or suspicious movement is enough for them to wake up immediately, ready to act. Another curiosity involves their whiskers, or vibrissae, which are much more than an aesthetic detail. These highly sensitive hairs help cats measure spaces, detect air pressure changes, and even sense nearby vibrations. That's why you should never cut a cat's whiskers, as it can disorient them and cause great discomfort. Finally, let's talk about how cats have influenced culture over the centuries. They've inspired artists, writers, and filmmakers, becoming the protagonists of iconic works. From the mystical cats of Egypt to the popular cat memes on the internet, these felines have earned a unique place in our hearts and history. These aspects show just how extraordinary cats are, combining mystery, intelligence, and charm in one irresistible package. They continue to surprise us, proving that, when it comes to cats, there's always something new to discover. So, the next time you observe your cat, remember that it carries with it thousands of years of history and incredible adaptations. These little felines are much more than just pets. They are true companions, full of mysteries and charms that never cease to amaze us.